Hi, I'm Michael, and this is episode 3 of the Enoree Station Project. And hopefully, by the end of today's episode, we will find out the mystery of who Leanne loves. Pile back here, we're about halfway done with it, so by the end of the day, we should be all the way done with it. Alright, let's get to it. Another load ready to go to the dump. So I'm lugging all this stuff up this hill. So, bags are pretty heavy. I'm glad I went for the contractor bags. If you're ever doing a clean out or any renovation work, spring for the contractor bags, everybody. They will definitely save you from having to clean up a mess. So, this is my truck. It's not much, but gets the job done most of the time. Okay, in between dump runs, I went out and hit up somebody who was getting rid of old windows. I'm going to be answering all of the free Windows ads. That building needs plenty of windows, and any ones that aren't good enough for the building, we're planning on building a greenhouse out of. So, get these unloaded, and then I'm going to make another dump run. Got the pile taken care of. I'm loading up the last of it right now. Trip to the dump. It gave me some time though. I had to put it all in contractor bags. The boxes were not going to make it up the hill, and they definitely would have exploded all over there. And it gave me the time to go through everything and make sure I wasn't missing anything. So, all right, back to it. Ah, turkey vulture. I was unpacking a box and I found these newspapers. They're from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I've actually been to Johnstown, and anybody who's not familiar with the town, it's this town in Pennsylvania. It used to have a couple 100,000 people who lived in it, but it floods. It floods like every 30 or 40 years. The flood completely destroys the town, and the last time it happened, a lot of people moved away and just never came back because a lot of the jobs were moving away anyway. So there really wasn't a reason to rebuild the town. It's actually a very sad place to visit if you ever are in the area, western Pennsylvania. So I would bet that the people who built this house and moved on this property, they probably just moved away from Johnstown in '77 after the flood and just set up shop here in South Carolina. I didn't do a lot of filming through that last section because it's kind of repetitive. It's go through the vintage clothes, see what's salvageable. Lots of magazines, lots of trash. So, this is a box of the stuff I think is salvageable. So, and then I found, I am finding some good vintage clothing mixed in. I mean, that's a nice vintage shirt from the 80s. It's brand new. It still has the tag on it. And that is not the made in the USA. So that's not the modern stuff that you get at like an Old Navy or something. I did find another one of those embossed pictures of a hunting scene. It's, again, rough. It's a little cleaner, but it's got some small tears. Somebody might want it, though, still. But back in the corner, did find some cool stuff. So it's a record cabinet. It's still has a record on the player. Probably some speakers in the bottom. I haven't been able to dig it out yet. We'll get to it. Gun rack, mirror, and some more like hard stuff. This is going to be probably, though, some of the best vintage clothing in the building, because this is towards the center of the building, not near any windows, and it doesn't look like the mice or anything like that has gotten to a lot of this stuff. A lot of it actually has tags on it from a probably attempted garage sale before it was abandoned here in the 90s. So, all right, back to it. I'm going to try to work my way to the couch. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I'd say a good 2/3 of the vintage clothing's just not good. Or, you know, if it's in good shape, it's something that nobody's really going to want. I mean, I saved about a dozen polyester pantsuits, but at what point is there going to be a high demand for that? Got typewriter. Royal. It's not really old enough for anybody to want. I don't know. So we're about ready to fry the couch out. So, let's find out who Leanne loves. Alright, everybody, mystery is solved. Leanne loves Daryl. I believe that's what that says. So, well, doesn't appear to be any critters underneath there, so that was actually better than I thought. So this record cabinet, it's mid-century, General Electric. It's a little rough on the top, but inside looks good. It's got that good mid-century look, not the later kind of 1970s look to it. So that'll probably be easy to sell. All right, well, I got to start getting some of this stuff out of the building, and then I'll do some more filming. Okay, we're getting back into this corner now, so we're starting to see the end. I went through a box of toys. You know, most of it's rough, as you can see. Salvaged a few items though. A couple of original Rubik's Cubes, original Slinky, some kind of dog book. Got a Dukes of Hazzard Matchbox car and the license plate. So that's the salvageable toys that I could find in there. Santa. And so this is why it pays to go through all the little boxes. So I found this at the bottom. You know, that's a nice hunting knife, brand new. Some old lures, ammo, screwdrivers. I found a book of coupons from like 1984. It's full. They clipped out all of the coupons for like an entire year and just saved the book. It's like, I don't know what your plan was for that. So we're getting close to another dump run. I probably got 2, maybe 3 more. It's a possibility. I'm going to ask them, because I was down at the dump the other day and I saw somebody had a couch in the yard waste. So they might take that couch in the yard waste. I don't know why you would consider a couch yard waste, but and this has got to be the most heavy-duty waffle iron I've ever seen. Looks like 1940s. I don't think I'm going to want to plug that in though. I'll let somebody else have fun with it. And that looks like, what is that? Yeah, it's an electric string trimmer. Oh, geez. Can you imagine lugging that around? I mean, that thing is like a car battery. And oh, it's rechargeable. So that is why it's like a car battery, because it pretty much is. It's a car battery on a pole. Well, I don't think anybody wants that. Okay, we're just about the end of the pile. Kind of disappointed in the vintage clothing, to be honest with you. A lot of what was on top was workwear, I mean, Western wear. There was a ton of hunting and fishing stuff. So, I mean, there's some of it, and some of it made it. But a lot of it, the stuff that they packed the best, was fabric. And I'm pretty sure vintage fabric doesn't go for as much as vintage clothing. No expert. But I've got boxes and boxes of vintage fabric. So, did find a interesting little coffee table. It all has stuff in the sides. But I did find in that white cabinet, I didn't film it, these are boxes of children's books. So, some hunting magazines and stuff like that in there. So, I mean, I have found some good vintage clothing. I don't want to make it seem like I didn't get any. But when you saw the size of those piles, you were thinking, yeah, I'm going to get box after box after box of vintage clothing. And just, you know, the stuff that survived, of course, is the stuff that you would never want to wear again. Polyester pantsuits and a lot of grandma clothes. But here we go again. More full canning jars. Well, that were sealed at one time. And there's the proof, everybody. 86. That's what I was thinking before. Those are green beans, I believe. I mean, I'll send an email to the eating history guys and see if they're interested. But I'm sure they get, you know, old canned goods like this all the time, and they're more interested in like the store pack. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. Again, yeah, I mean, that one from 86, that might be the lone survivor. They were all full in this box, though. Wait. Jelly. Let's see. Oh, geez. Raspberry, 79. Ooh, boy. You'd have to be brave. Like I said, I'll send an email to those guys. 1979 raspberry jelly. Home canned. Alright, that's gross. We're just going to throw the rest of that box away. And we're down to basically the last box. And this looks like, again, this is what I was talking about. I mean, this box is at the bottom of the pile. It was wrapped in plastic bags, so most of the stuff in there is not wet. It's not mouse-eaten. It's just these little scraps of vintage fabric. I mean, so I've got box after box of this stuff. So this stuff, I might just toss it because this is like, it's not even stuff you can. I mean, what are you gonna do with this much of this fabric? I mean, I don't make a napkin, I guess. So I did find one fossilized critter at the bottom over here, but you couldn't even tell what it was. So I figured I'd spare everybody that. So the record cabinet's a good find. It looks like, you know, if you cleaned it up, it probably would work. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I've got a couple of boxes of miscellaneous, a couple of suitcases, a typewriter, and that's about it. So kind of disappointed in this back pile. I thought we'd get a lot more out of it. But, you know, that's the way it goes. Alright, well, I'm going to finish up here and make my dump run. Alright, gonna give everybody a tour of where we're at so far. Got at least 2 loads ready to go out here. Let's take a look inside. I know it doesn't look like it's a lot better, but it is actually significantly better than what it was. I mean, you really couldn't even see the floor in this building at all when I first came in here. So, got our yard sale pile. I'll probably set off a bug bomb in this room before I bring all this stuff out to the workshop, just to be on the safe side. I don't want a bug bomb back here because I'd be worried about hurting the beehive. And I'm going to go to the dump today with a full load. I'll ask him the question about the couch and all this foam. So I've got this stuff put away in this corner. Like I said, this is one of the driest spots in here. You can see it looked like, floors look like pine, might be heart pine, based on the age of the building. Leanne loves Daryl. I believe that's what that says. Got a gun rack. Found an antler shed. I wish it was a pair, you know, something you could mount, but it's not. At least I haven't found the other one yet, and I've pretty much gone through everything. Like I said, not as much saved actually out of this back room. A lot of it was just trash. And I was actually hoping for better, like I said, because this is one of the driest spots. You know, no windows around it. The window's still boarded, and I was hoping for better. But we'll take what we could get. So, off to the dump I go. Okay, everybody, this is going to do it for this episode of the Enoree Station Project, episode 3. We don't have the cottage completely cleared out, but we do have it de-trashed. This is the Enoree River, and this is the backside of the cottage. This is the original road that leads to the backside of the cottage. I haven't really used it because there's no back entrance. The road's a little steep, and it's just dirt. My truck is only a 2-wheel drive, and if I get it stuck, it wouldn't be very fun to get it unstuck. Done a little bit of clearing back here. Still need to do more. So the plans for the future on the channel, I think we're going to patch the roof next after we get all of the yard sale stuff moved to the garage and sorted through and cleaned. The roof patch, it'll be a temporary patch just to prevent water from entering the building and causing more damage. After the roof patch, I believe I'll reframe the wall, remove that window, then I'll stabilize the floor. Then I think we'll go back on the roof and maybe do the roof and really get the building dried in. You know, windows, then we'll peel off the siding, insulate, electrical work, plumbing, you name it. So a lot more videos to come on the channel, and we're kind of making it up as we go along. So thanks everybody for watching and putting up with me kind of learning on the fly on how to shoot these videos. So thanks again. Bye everybody.